Being a full-time content creator is one of the coolest looking things in the world. You see 20-year-olds that are making 20 times more money than you, living in the most beautiful places, visiting the craziest places in the world, driving the fanciest cars. And this can be so inspiring, but it can also be one of the darkest things to look at, knowing that this will probably never ever happen to you. But here's the thing. You see, I put myself in one of these places too, and I compare myself to some of the biggest creators on this planet. They have all this gear, they have a fancy equipment, they have everything that you can possibly think of. And on top of that, they've been doing that for 10 plus years. Some of the biggest content creators that you see online, that's actually the case. They've been on that for 10 plus years, and they started out just like us, filming on an iPhone just like I'm doing, with a cheap mic, and that's what they were doing. And now they have this big team, they have all these systems that are into place, they know how to make every video hit, they know how to do everything perfect. And this is the problem. We compare ourselves to the biggest creators out there that are making so much more money than us, that are getting millions of views, but they did it the hard way. The most inspiring thing that you can do is look at those creators that you look up to, and I know I have a ton of them, and look at their first videos. And I'm not necessarily talking about their first video on the channel that they have right now, but find out how they really started out, like their very first videos. And I know for some of the creators that I've been looking at, and probably for every creator that you can look up to, their first videos were horrible, and they probably weren't getting views. There are some creators out there that sure blew up right off the bat, but 99% of them didn't. They started out and they filmed something and they got 3 views. And it might seem like it's impossible to look at that because, or that it actually happened, because it's so far from their reality right now, because they can post the most random content and they still get 100,000 views minimum on some of the channels. But they actually did start out like that, and now it's normal for them to get 100,000 views, but at the beginning it probably just wasn't the case. The second thing that you need to watch out for is that, you know, those that saying that it's just an Instagram life or something like that. That's actually the case. It's just a highlight reel of what's been happening in their lives. Those people probably worked really hard, and they probably spent more hours in front of their computer doing nothing, or not doing nothing, actually working really hard to get the ideas right, to get their content right, to study the game. And that's something that you do need to do, is study the game, study what actually works. You don't see that. You don't see that on the videos. You only see the things that they want to show you, the perfect life, the dream holidays or vacation if you're an American, or all these things, but in reality, they had probably a hard time, and every content creator goes through this. That's why it's not cut out for everyone. You need to put in the consistent work to learn to put yourself in front of the camera. And it's not because you don't live in LA or Thailand or something like that that you can't make really, really good videos. You can make good videos no matter if you're in the middle of nowhere or somewhere else, because trust me, it is going to be exotic for some people. I'm sure, like, I live in France in a random city and or town next to a city, and people, like, to me it's completely normal and there's nothing crazy, but I'm sure to some people it will be crazy. But if I go to wherever you live, maybe you live in the US or England or something like that, it will be completely different. And to me it will be crazy, but to you it probably will sound like nothing. So that's something else, a tangent that I went on, but you need to keep that in mind. So actually tell me where do you actually live, and tell me if that made any sense, because I would really like to know. And thank you for watching this far into the video, because you watched the video for, chances are, more than the average person. So thanks for still being here. Let me know if you actually are still here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Also, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff, because it really does help. It really does help the channel. See you on the next one.